All right, let's come back as a big group now, and let's start working on our big bootleg. Let's start with dependence on basic agriculture. Yes.
Why are they called bootleg maps? Is it just like another term for like a bubble map, or is it just like a bootleg? I would just make it up. You would just make it up and say it for some big thing. You're like, this one's on history, but I just made it all up.
So is it just like a bubble maps?
Dependence on basic agriculture.
He made it up.
Yes, Fiona.
Kind of don't have as much control over whether your society does it or not.
Okay. Little control. Why?
Because it depends on the weather.
Okay. Good. Luke?
Weather dependence leads to superstition or religion.
Or let's say, need to control weather somehow.
A need for assurance.
Need for assurance,
Not insurance.
which leads to religious practice. This applies to almost every basic society that has existed, right?
Is this how religion started?
It's an effect that we have derived from dependence on basic agriculture, and it is a fact that most society, every society, basic society has had religion. If you think about the earliest societies like Mesopotamian culture, Babylonian culture, these civilizations have had gods that have related to weather phenomena. So, very good. What else, Zach?
Clarifying question. So, dependence on basic agriculture is like they need, like that's like something that they need the basic agriculture, right?
Sorry, say that again.
Does it mean they need the basic agriculture, or just it's because dependence? Because I feel like it can mean they need it, or they need it to make money or something.
I'm not totally sure what the difference is there. This bubble means that our society depends on basic agriculture to survive.
What would advanced
It
agriculture?
uses basic agriculture. Its technology is only as advanced as having a plow, basically.
So what's advanced agriculture?
Sorry?
What's advanced agriculture?
We'll find out. Luke?
Dependence on basic agriculture can also lead to dependence on harvests or farmland and farmers.
Dependence on harvest. Okay. What does that mean for land?
You need farmland.
So, what about land?
You need land to grow stuff in.
Land is valuable, right? You guys should write this down.
Can you write down if you believe in that one?
Yes, please. I would like to see bubble one.
What's that thing?
So, more suggestions for either dependence on basic agriculture or central authority. Ruby, let's go from you. What's one effect of either of these bubbles?
No central authority. Everyone can do what they want, which leads them to think that they can do whatever
So let's say little enforcement of law, right? Little which leads to
Crime.
crime. And what else?
Crime leads to an authority led by the people, so like a militia, or like,
Why?
because, well, it leads to, I guess it leads to need for protection.
Yes. So, I am a lord. How do I protect myself from crime? If I'm a lord. Anna?
Hire someone.
Who do I hire?
I'm like,
Perhaps a knight. Some kind of warrior figure, right? Because we're doing Middle Ages, let's say knight. Knights are valuable because they have skills that defend against crime. I'm a peasant. How do I protect myself from crime? Danny? Militia. What does that mean?
A small group of men with basic knowledge of combat.
A small group of people with basic knowledge of combat. Yes. You could join a militia. And who controls the militia? Okay. Militias. And both of these lead to control by lords, or hired by lords. Great. And Luke, then what?
well, if the peasants and the knights are centralized under a lord, then that's a feudal system.
Okay.
And that becomes a system that makes a central authority.
Feudal system. And what is a feudal system? Anna.
No, I had a question. I couldn't remember it.
Oh.
Figured it out before.
Luke, what's a feudal system?
Well, I guess it's a static social ladder in which you have peasants, which produce for the lords and the knights guard the lords, and the lords tax the peasants.
Okay. So
So it leads to central authority.
we have a dependence on basic agriculture, which means that land is valuable, and at the same time, we have a need for protection. Lords hire knights to protect their land, which is valuable, and the possession of land protected by knights leads to a feudal system. Okay.
Central authority though?
It is a centralized local authority in which local populaces are controlled by lords, but it's not a central authority in the sense of a country unity. Luke?
Land is valuable can lead to a need for protection.
Yeah, good. else can I protect myself if I'm the Lord? Yonatan?
Learning how to fight yourself.
Let's assume that they already
They
know
don't
how to
wanna
fight
do that.
themselves.
Then you can.
And
Learn how to
A big giant fortified house to keep people out.
very interesting. Okay, yeah. Need for protection. Lords make castles. That's a great idea if I want to protect myself. Zach,
I'm not sure if it could this time. Maybe it could go somewhere else.
go somewhere else. Okay, well, let's assume they don't run away from their valuable land, which they need to survive. Luke.
Castles can lead to less crime
Castles can lead to less crime. How?
because you're not going to want to steal when there's all the knights around. The knights will like you.
The knights will beat you up.
Yeah, okay. So castles are fortified. And maybe crime goes down. There's another way you can protect yourself if you're a lord. Luke.
Get your friends.
Make alliances. And how do you make alliances?
Trade. Friendship. It's natural.
Trade. Yeah. What else? Any ideas? Allie?
Battles. Fight together.
You conquer other lands. Yeah.
These guns are murdering.
Not each other.
Conquer others. How do you conquer others? Nick.
Fight your knights.
Huh? Hire knights and militias. What else do you need to conquer lands? You need horses. You need weapons. How do you make weapons? You need trade guilds, right? You need guilds. And what happens when you start to have groups of people making things, not cultivating land? The guilds are not cultivating land. That's important to remember. Instead, they have shops, they have workshops, they have stables or forges. Then what happens? Danny? Economy grows because you have more trade, more products.
Economy growth.
Well, this is only for the North Central authority, not for the basic agriculture. So how do we know they're that it's not basic agriculture?
Well, these are linked. These are two societies.
Land value links to need for protection.
Well, there can be links all over the place. What else grows from the emergence of guilds, Luke? More jobs. It's kind of like economy. More jobs, more economy. You have the development of towns because you can't build a workshop on your farm. That's where you farm.
More
you need towns where people can work and live. Villages in the Middle Ages, as you may remember from the reading, are like maybe 100 people. Towns are thousands. And it comes from the growth of trade that is not agricultural. See how the need for protection, which leads to the need for knights, the need for alliances, the need for protection eventually leads to the development of weaponry and the development of guilds. That's interesting. Can we say anything about the connection between weapons and castles, maybe? Can we make a connection between weapons and castles? Castles are useless against swords.
The fortified walls.
Yes.
But if you have the fortified walls, but if you don't have like people shooting from those fortified walls, they don't do anything.
So how do you defeat a castle? Like what?
Better weapons than the castle has.
To defeat castles, you need to innovate. New tech, such as Luke,
I have no
catapults. By this time, that's already old news. You need cannons.
You get those from China, which is long distance.
Cannons.
Catapults have been used forever.
And that creates
I can't find it.
a lot more turmoil, as you might imagine. There's still another way to make alliances that we haven't gotten to. Anna.
Marriage?
Mariage.
Woo!
Beautiful, beautiful.
Forced marriage.
Marriage. So, what can we say about marriage? What's an effect of the use of marriage to create alliances?
Combining of castles.
Danny?
Population.
Higher population. Why?
Well, when people get married, they have kids.
Yeah, that's basically.
I don't know if that is a direct effect of noble families getting married. Because if you think about it, there aren't that many nobles, right?
Yeah.
We can say there's a population increase from
Town.
other things, such as maybe the development of towns and more jobs, right? So maybe pop increase goes here, but pop increase can also go somewhere else, which relates to a dependence on basic agriculture. Anyone take a wild swing? Nick? Oh, maybe there's a good year and you're like, yeah, let's do this. Okay. But I'm thinking more basic. Danny?
Need for workers on the farm, need for speed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the thing now.
Dependence on harvest means you better have people to work on your farm. Big families, because you need a big labor force. Great. Oh, hello, Lucas. Nice to see you. Have a seat, please. And you can start copying down this confusing math. Whatever.
Have fun.
We're thinking about direct causes and effects that we have derived from two main points of the society, such as one in the Middle Ages, with basic agriculture and no central authority. And we've been able to come up with all of these phenomena that occur because of these two traits that a society possesses. Why else might you have a big family in the Middle Ages? Zach? Maybe you have a need for protection. Yeah. Maybe. I'm thinking of more along the lines of
Oh no! Oh.
I'm thinking more along the lines of
Well, sir, you're
I'm thinking more along the lines of death. Alex? High infant mortality rate, right? Very high infant mortality rate.
And where does that come from? What is the cause of that?
Exactly. What is the cause of high infant mortality rate in the Middle Ages? Piper.
not enough food in mothers, sicknesses, disease. If you're
Disease.
also, if you're like a low-class infant, you're not going to have as much stuff to take care of you as if you're like some royal infant with a crown on his head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So
Good.
weather dependent could lead to disease.
And disease causes infant mortality. Why else? Piper, I think you were alluding to it.
Yeah.
Why do people get sick so often in the Middle Ages?
Because you don't necessarily always have the right stuff to cure certain sicknesses, and depending on your social status, you're either more or less important.
Okay.
So resources, the limited resources available that are meant for more important people.
Limited resources, such as hygiene, let's say,
Medicine.
sewage, sanitation, right?
Where does that come from?
Though, in these ages, even aristocratic families don't really have defenses against sicknesses. Certainly, they're protected from crowds who might be sick, you know. But things aren't really that great,
Well,
hygiene-wise, for noblemen either.
Where does the limited hygiene come from?
Right. Limited hygiene and sanitation. Luke, you had something that is a direct cause of limited sanitation.
Poor infrastructure.
Yes. Poor infrastructure.
Where does that come from? No central authority.
Which comes from maybe no central authority. There's no person who says, hey everyone, we need to make sewers right now. They also don't have the technology to make sewers, right? They have no idea what that is. They do have like canals, like gutters. That's still pretty gross. People throw their piss and shit out the window. That's pretty gross.
why do they do that? How does that serve?
Well,
They don't want it in the house.
Oh, that's true. I thought you meant like people were like pooping and they were like, yo neighbor! But, I mean,
So,
that's cool.
let me toss something out there. Let me just toss something out there and see if we can use our hard-nosed cause-effect method to reach it. Okay? So,
No way I'm ever gonna be able to read this, by the way.
in the Middle Ages, there is a premium on female chastity. Why? How does that happen? Allie? Religion. Okay. And how do you get from religion to female virginity?
Well, if I understand correctly, some religions say that premarital sex is like a sin. So it kind of directly links.
And why might premarital sex be a sin? Ruby?
Do people just like not want STDs to spread?
Oh! That's very interesting.
Oh, snap!
So, let's say this. Premarital sex,
It's not.
X. So that's something that Ali tossed out there, certainly directly related to the valuation of female chastity. And Ruby has now said that there could be a hygienic reason for this taboo.
Oh! Oh my god!
People don't want STDs.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. This is on camera.
Piper's going to explode.
STDs.
Just call on her.
No, bro. I'm like raising like all my limbs.
We're going to explode. Everybody get down.
Hyper.
Thank you. Okay, so I was thinking the reason why it might be a sin to have sex before marriage in various religious texts is because back before people knew exactly how diseases came to be and worked, people might have sex before marriage, and if they're not only having sex with one person, there's a higher chance of having sex with someone if you're all being very polyamorous or whatever, and with polygamy. And then there are these people who are obviously sick and you get STDs, and then someone gets STDs and they're like, oh, I had sex before marriage and I got STDs. STDs are bad. This is like a curse. This is the devil. Okay, I sinned.
Alright.
Religion!
Alright.
Yeah!
Alright. So, a very interesting relationship, perhaps, between religious practice and physical health. That's a very interesting relationship. And anthropologists certainly have identified relationships between taboos, such as in kosher diets, like why don't you eat shellfish, and potentially health benefits. That's a very, very interesting relationship. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, but we do have STDs right here. We do have STDs.
You have to wash your hands before everything. That's why it actually
Let it go.
is
Literally.
Because sickness can
Most of them doesn't.
lead to a need for assurance because it's not something that you can really explain.
What are you linking?
So I was just sort of thinking because not necessarily to like put anything down, but I'm just thinking about.
Oh, absolutely. So you're positing a relationship between disease and how horrible it is in the Middle
Yeah.
Ages,
So then disease
And-
is a need for assurance.
and religious practice.
Yeah.
That's a great connection.
Alright, I'm going to
Okay.
quit.
So should we be drawing a line between religious practice and premarital sex or no?
You certainly can. You certainly can. Okay. And I'm just going to highlight this guy here because alliances and marriage, I think, also have something to do with these two bubbles here. Ruby.
Okay, I think that the religion is valued because there's this sexism, and sex is a way to control people. And okay, just let me point this out. Which is why like it's still big because like I hate those. And
But
everyone
why-
related with garbage.
But that is the interesting question. Why do people not want women having sex before marriage?
Right, it's not that.
Certainly sexist, but why? Are you just going to say because it's sexist?
I have kind of a reason.
What's your reason?
Okay, because they built this like weird like purity complex that prevents women from just doing things. But I don't know why. I don't know where it started.
What must be pure? That's a good
Maybe
question.
because of disease? I don't know. Okay.
Well, yes, but what else must be pure? Think about if you're a lord. I mean, even just a regular Joe. What must be pure?
Your like offspring, and you can like lead the. Sorry.
Your bloodline.
That's a good one. Only the woman knows
Good,
whose
right?
baby she's born.
Have you ever watched Game of Thrones?
Oh my
Her bloodline.
I mean, Game of Thrones is a very good lesson in how powerful a bloodline is in a feudal system in which the only way you can inherit land is by being the direct offspring of a lord, right? Bloodline is important. The purity of your bloodline is important. And how do we connect bloodline to the rest of this map? Danny.
Land is valuable.
Land is valuable. Okay. Land is valuable. We need a couple steps, right? How do we connect land is valuable to bloodline with 2 or 3 steps? Luke?
You want your eldest and most capable child to get your land when you're dead, so you have inheritance.
Okay, inheritance. Land is passed by inheritance. Okay.
And so is power, because of its lord.
And power. Great. And how do you maintain that your bloodline is pure? Then you go to female virginity. Something like this.
Because only the woman really knows whose child it is. If you help regulate
This-
that.
This inheritance question is also linked to the creation of marriages by alliance, right? Because if I'm a lord and Zach's a lord and we want to join forces, we do so by sending my daughter off to Zach's castle or whatever. And that son, because it has to be a son because of sexism,
Yes, that's
inherits the land. So, marriage by alliance reinforces the need for a pure bloodline. Because the only way to make sure that you're truly allied, that you're really in it together to win it, is if you have a direct offspring. Running out of room, running out of brain space. Does anyone have anything else to add? Great. Take a 2-minute break.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. You don't have to worry about talking.
Oh, that's the name of the actor. It's not exactly King. Wait, stop. I think bring up Aria, and Aria
Which means
they don't have
okay.
historical phenomena that we know to be true because of the textbook. I don't know how much of the reading you were
I
able to do.
actually have one.
That's awesome. I'm collecting the Chaucer poem on the weekend. So, are you free for like a few minutes after school so we can catch up?
Of course.
That'd be great. Just because I'm
I'm sure.
That's a very interesting question, and I think that you could.